Not long ago, it would be unthinkable. Humanitarian aid directly from the suncoast to what President Kennedy once called the imprisoned island nation of Cuba. Now, Agape Flights, a Christian ministry delivering food and aid supplies around the Caribbean, is going to Cuba. ABC 7's Christopher Brantley is here with more. Christopher.
Well, Alan, these missions have been flying south for years, but never to the closed-off island nation of Cuba. And now that diplomatic relations have reopened, Agape has set course, all in the spirit of Agape's meaning in Greek, the highest form of love, charity.
Today, the United States of America is changing its relationship with the people of Cuba.
When President Obama made that announcement from the White House, the words rang loud here at Agape Flight.
This plane weekly flies to Bahamas, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic.
Agape flies every week with donated goods from around the U.S. and here on the Suncoast to help small, impoverished countries. But they had never been allowed to fly to Cuba, at least until a few weeks back.
We'll be bringing in 26 water filtration units and 64 boxes of prepped meals.
In total, they delivered over 10,000 individual meals to church groups in the island nation.
It's just one small plane that took off from Venice Airport, but it has a monumental, eternal impact in the lives of people in Cuba.
But getting there took time.
I think for 24 years, that's exactly what I've been doing, is preparing for this moment and this time.
Alan Spear is the president and CEO of Agape. He's been flying down to Cuba to minister for over 20 years.
Have seen all the changes that have taken place, and really in the last couple of years, the amazing changes that are taking place.
On the day of the inaugural flight, Jeff Iannicelio was at the controls.
Handing us off to the Cuban controllers for the first time, that's really when it hit me as to doing something that had never been done before.
When the plane touched down, it was a sort of coming home for Spear.
When I saw that, it brought me to tears, and if it brings hope by seeing a Agape Flights aircraft flying in there, that's really what we're all about.
But there were some difficulties. After the plane landed, the airport didn't know what to do.
So they sent us to the cargo ramp, and then once we got there, they had to go and ask the director of that particular ramp, okay, we got a flight here, what do we need to do with this?
Once the goods were unloaded, they were taken to customs at the airport, and there they sat for weeks while they were thoroughly inspected.
We've got word that just this past week, last week, they released all the cargo from the customs, and so it is now in the hands of the churches there in Cuba.
The prepackaged food and water purification systems are being handed out by the partner churches in the area. If you ask people like Alan Spear why so much work goes into helping others, they say God tells them to, but they'll also say it's because of the people they're helping.
If you stand in a Cuban's home very long, and they may have one picture hanging on the wall, if you look at it long enough, they're going to stop, they're going to take that picture off the wall, and they're going to give it to you because they're content.
And Agape does hope to fly into Cuba regularly starting in January. Their group is in the middle of purchasing a second aircraft, and if they do that, they'll be able to open even more doors of charity.
Christopher, thank you.